Hey, Brian King here. I want to talk about something very important, and it's something that people ask me a lot. How have I developed the attitude that I have that allows me to persevere and push through, anything that life throws at me. And I wouldn't say that it's inherent in me because I was an extremely negative person growing up. As a kid, as a teenager, yes, I had bouts of optimism, but for the most part, I played it safe. I lived in fear. I didn't take any chances. And it wasn't until I had cancer and survived that I discovered this unstoppable will. And here is one of the key shifts that allowed me to really just grow into the person I am now and the person that I am becoming is I made a decision that I was going to invest in myself relentlessly. I was going to invest in the mindset that I needed to be the person I am now. And that's something a lot of people aren't willing to do because they spend too much energy and their money on protecting their ego. And from your own experience, because you're human, and I had this time in my life too, so let's not BS ourselves and pretend that you don't do this, is you spend time distracting yourself from the things that are upsetting you, that if you spent enough time in those things, you'd get sick enough of them to change them, to want to change them, and then have to take some action to change them. But instead of doing that, you go and distract yourself some more. You invest in entertainment. Not that entertainment doesn't have its place, all things in moderation. But I see people that are going from one concert to the next, and people that are binge watching programs, and people that are getting lost in fiction. Again, these things have their place in moderation. But when all you do is immerse yourself in these things at the expense of your personal growth, then in my opinion, you're wasting your time. You're not doing anything to progress in life. You're not doing anything to grow, to become the person you can be by sharpening that sword that is your character, that is your innate talent. So invest in yourself. What the heck does that mean? Now, let's be transparent here. I'm a little biased because I'm a coach. I do this for a living. People pay me to help them. But one of my single greatest investments has been my own coaches. The people that are further down the road than I am in terms of the path I'm walking in life, people that have made the mistakes that I want to avoid making, or have learned things that maybe my little ego is resisting me from learning. The coaches that can help me spot my blind spots, because we always have those defenses that are protecting our fragile little ego from the truth. And I don't care how many books you read, I don't care how many seminars you go to, you will always have those blind spots, and they will always get in your way because you can't see them. One of the best things a coach can do for you is give you that 30,000-foot view of your ego and point out the things you're missing that are most in need of your attention, that need to be shifted so that you can grow in profound ways. You can't get that from a book. You can't get it from a seminar. You can't get it from a documentary, just the reality. Now, I'm not saying hire me as a coach. I'm saying hire a coach, somebody that can help you unlock those things. Because I've come across people over the years that say, well, I've read all the books, I've read all the seminars, none of that stuff works. Yeah, it does. But you're still standing in your own way because your ego is blocking you. I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, hey, Brian, you got a good book that I could read? I say, yeah, I got plenty of books, but who's going to hold you accountable for applying the things in the book? Who is going to help you process where you're bumping up against your own ego and your resistance with the strategies that are being given to you? Because I promise you, when you're reading some of this stuff, you're coming up with rationalizations about how you can do it different and how you can cut this corner so that you don't need to do the work as it was spelled out. You're sabotaging yourself the whole way through, and you don't even know it because you're just doing what your brain does. To this day, I have coaches because as I look to grow and move on to the next level, I start bumping against that inner BS, that inner critic that's giving me excuses for not doing it, for not thinking that big or aiming that high. And I have my coaches to call me out on it and help me look at my blind spots. I promise you, nothing replaces another human being who believes in you, who can support you, who can give you that little kick in the keister when you need it to help you keep moving, to not let you live in your excuses and your rationalizations. Investing in yourself is one of the best things you can do. And it's critical. I know so many parents who pridefully martyr themselves in service of their children. So, I don't got time for me. Oh, I've got to invest in Little League, and I've got to invest in the costume for the play or the new instrument or whatever it is. And that's honorable. But what are you teaching your child when you teach them your needs don't matter? That your personal growth is a sacrifice that needs to be made in order to be a parent. Really? You're showing your child, just so you know, you have to give up your own life to have kids. Now, where are my grandkids? I want grandkids to play with, because now it's your turn to be a martyr. No, it doesn't work like that. By investing in yourself, by refining your character, by sharpening your own saw, do you not think that the person you become inspires your children? That the person you become impacts how you show up for your children, how you show up for your spouse, how powerful a leader, how powerful a presence you become because you invest in yourself. That's probably the number one piece of advice that I can give you on anything. I can give you an affirmation. I can recommend a book. I can recommend a movie that, can move you to tears. None of that is going to help you grow as much as investing in yourself will. And don't tell me you can't afford it, because you pay for a lot of stuff you don't need. Every human being does. We live in a consumer culture that demands that we buy the latest trends, the $5 coffee, the latest download or release, whatever it is. I guarantee you there is a degree of frivolous spending in your life that if you cut it out and invested in yourself, you would realize quickly that you were paying money for all that stuff to hide, not because it really added value to your life. So I really want you to think about that. And I want to encourage you to take some action on your behalf. Find a coach. Find somebody who can take you to levels and heights you never thought you could go to, and simply because you had the beliefs that were stopping you. So how's that for a Sunday morning? Wonderful way to begin, huh? So have some fun with that thinking. Ask me questions. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you. And if you know somebody who can benefit from this message, share it with them. And they'll probably thank you. Until we talk again, this has been Brian. Have an awesome day.